Welcome back to the farm. I am trying to get some prep work done in advance of the rain that's coming. So I'll be stuck indoors doing a lot of indoor tasks. Well, maybe not a lot. I did put my Kindle on the living room table, so I may be sitting on the couch reading all day. But I do have a couple of things that I want to get done in the garden. First and foremost, I want to get the celery harvested. I'm way past due on getting that cut and in storage. So it's getting kind of woody. It still tastes surprisingly better than celery that I've gotten from the store. It's not as watery and bland. So I think if I'd been cutting it earlier in the spring, it would, or in the summer, it would have tasted a lot better. But, so I'm going to get that cut so inside I can chop it up and put it in the dehydrator because I love having dehydrated celery. Celery goes to waste so fast, even with storage, that, or at least compared to how often I use it. Can you hear him? Go on, one more. The most pathetic thing you've ever heard. It's very cute. So it goes to waste in my refrigerator. So to have it dehydrated, I'm not using it fresh, but it's great to throw in soups, to throw in spaghetti sauce, anything you want that celery flavor in. So I'm going to dehydrate all of this just because it is past its peak. The rest is going to wait in the garden, is going to wait until tomorrow. I'm going to take out all the zucchini plants. Oh, hey, Jax. That's one of the neighborhood cats, Jax. He belongs to Pauline, who lives up the street, across the creek. He did try to poke his head in the cat door the other night, so he's feeling pretty comfortable here. But he won't let me come near him. So, yeah, but anyway, so I'm going to take the zucchini up, and I'm going to clear this bed all out. And I think I'm going to plant both those to buckwheat just to get some more organic material into the soil here. Buckwheat is a great cover crop. It grows fairly quickly, and it will die off in the first frost before it goes to seed, so I don't have to worry about it becoming a weed if I plant it now. So, and these tomatoes are starting to go, so it may be time to start thinking about harvesting and getting rid of the tomato plants. But that's for tomorrow and the next day, because I'm going to need all this green matter for the next compost ring. I want to get as much of this done before it starts raining, so I'm going to get to work. So I didn't harvest all of the squash, but I harvested the ones that I want to keep. And there's a couple of really small ones that I'm going to give one more day. So the small ones I'm all going to slice up and put in the freezer. The big ones I'm going to grate. I think it's zucchini bread day, since I'm going to be indoors anyway. You would know looking in this direction it's supposed to rain, but if you look back behind me, I'll show you in a second, it is definitely dark and scary looking over that way. So I'm going to get these in. There's not a lot else I can harvest. I went over the tomatoes and I got that small selection of tomatoes. I got those little bits of broccoli. My Brussels sprout plants look great, but they have absolutely no buds along the stems. So I don't know if it's just a timing issue and they need more time, or if they're just not going to do anything. I'm going to leave them because they endure frost, so I'm not going to do anything with those. The watermelons, I'm no good at telling if watermelons are ripe. That knock on it, and if it sounds hollow, it's ready. Well, I don't know what hollow sounds like. I can't do it on walls either, looking for studs. So I looked it up, and it does say that if the bottom feels soft and the first tendril closest to the plant is all dried up, then it's ready to harvest. So by those measures, that watermelon is not ready yet. I'm going to be really unhappy if I miss it, but we're going to cross our fingers. I would love to be able to take it to Pennsylvania with me next month for Crow's wedding, because Ken loves watermelon, and if I could take him a watermelon from the garden, I think he would be over the moon. So the peppers are doing nothing. They sort of have flowers on them, but not really. The tomatoes, I got some. There's a lot of green tomatoes, but I don't know if they're going to ripen, which is fine. I have a recipe for green tomato relish that I love, so I probably will take at least some of these and make that with it. The rest, I don't know what I'll do with, because I guess I can make apple pie filling, or yeah, mock apple pie filling with it. So we'll see about that. The cabbages are still plugging along good. I'm ignoring the pumpkins, the squash, the winter squash, because they're going to do what they're going to do until first frost, and then I'll harvest those. The beets are coming along good. The carrots aren't up yet. The beans I planted are starting to stick their heads out and promptly getting eaten by slugs. So I don't think I'm going to get any beans, but that's okay. I'm not a big bean eater anyway. The onions, they are going great guns, but until they fall over, they're not ready to harvest. So it's still too early to harvest these onions. And again, next year, I think I'm just going to do a scatter method and let them, in fact, I might do that this fall before I put stuff under, and just let the seeds stratify over the winter and see what comes up in the spring. That'd be a lot easier than trying to transplant each individual onion when I want to grow so many of them. All right. I'm going to give you a look at these clouds, and I'm going to get inside and start working on these veggies. thing about a big garden is processing everything. I didn't have enough room in the dehydrator for all that celery. So I've got 3 trays going, and I cut the rest up into more manageable pieces, and they're in the fridge. And when these are done, I'll add those. And all of the celery tops I packaged up just in random bagfuls and stuck those in the freezer, and those will be for making stock. I'll just throw those in with other veggie scraps that I have. So if I want to make vegetable stock, chicken or turkey stock, I can even use it for beef stock if I want. So I'll have those in the freezer all winter, because I do tend to make stock 3 or 4 times during the winter. Lots of soup in the cold weather. The rain, as predicted, has come, so we are indoors. I'm going to take a break for a little while before I get started on all that zucchini. Let's see what the rest of the day brings. It is Sunday and time to turn compost, at least some of it. I don't know if I'll get through all of it, but I want to at least get pile 1 done, the first one that we made that's now free floating. I want to get that turned to its new location, and if I have enough energy when I'm done with that, I'll turn the second one, but I don't think I'm going to get to building the third one yet. I'm kind of low energy today, and even though it's a beautiful blue sky day finally, it's almost 3:30 between church and errands. It took me a little while to get going today. So the goals are get pile 1 turned, try and get pile 2 turned. If I can get those 2 things done, I'm going to feel really good about today. If I only get the 1 done, I'll be fine with that. But, all right, these chickens think they're getting treats, and they kind of are going to, but they're going to have to work for them for themselves. Let's get this dirt turned. about 2 hours worth of shoveling with a little help from the chickens. It's only about 60 degrees, but that's how it works. So I'm glad I had a tank top on under my sweater. The sky is looking really threatening, although I don't think we're supposed to get anything today. But if we do, that's just as well, because the more water these piles get, the more they're going to break down. It's also kind of slow going turning these piles, at least right now. The ground that I'm putting them on, and you can see, is fairly weed covered, and there's a lot of rocks in it. There had been some kind of a structure here at some point, and I think the rocks are left over from the foundation. So it's just picking them out as I come across them. So after the third or fourth time we do this cycle, it should be easier, because those weeds will all have died and been dug up, and I'll have cleared the worst of the rocks. But for right now, I'm okay with it. So I still have to make the new ring, and then, so that'll have a week. Right, so that'll turn there, that'll turn there, this'll turn here. Let me do that again so you can see it. That will turn up there. This will turn there. This will turn here, and I'll make one more ring. And I think that's all I'm gonna do this season. A, I'm running out of time. B, I'm running out of materials. C, I'm kind of running out of steam. This is a lot of work. But I think it's going to be worth it. I just need to find an easier way that doesn't involve buying a tractor, because that would be the easiest way. If I had some kind of a scooper to do this turning for me, I could do it in no time flat. But it is what it is. I have what I have, and it'll get sorted one way or another. So I think that's going to be that for today. I don't know what I've got else left. I have to go in and check my list. I made a list of indoor chores that need to get done and outdoor chores that need to get done. And then I don't have to remember it anymore. I just have to go look at my list. So I'm going to go in and look at my list. But tomorrow, I go back to my fall-winter programming, and I start my ceramics class again tomorrow night. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've learned some new stuff, or got some new ideas over the summer, and I'm really interested to go back and see how I can express that this year. So I hope you have a lovely night, and I will see you, maybe not tomorrow, maybe the next day, but I will see you back here on the farm soon. Take care, everybody. What's the matter?